All right, everybody. So I'm going to be going over certain aspects of change of behavior or sign of strength. That's really important. And this is right in Wyckoff's course, as I'm showing you right now. It is in part of his first study, which is the key study. All right. Now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about when the trend changes, you have a sign of strength or a change of behavior. That change of behavior typically has volume off the bottom as well as it being a big bar. You could call it thrust off the bottom or buying off the bottom, right? But the key is that you have a change of behavior or a sign of strength and it has big price volume characteristics. The range expands and the volume expands. Now, to look for this intraday is very important because it's really going to give you a lot of confidence to execute the trade and have a lot of, I think it increases the certainty of the quality of the change of behavior. So if it's real change of behavior or just a big, some covering or something that isn't a change of behavior. So it really helps qualify the change of behavior. Again, you see the key thing, which is price and volume expansion. In this case, I think it was like 5 million shares off the bottom, right? And then you had a follow through green bar and another green bar. So 3 green bars in a row, which sum up a wave. And that wave together with these 3 bars is considered your sign of strength or your change of behavior. So you can very see that Wyckoff thing was, it's in his course. I'm literally showing you the page 33, 7N, first study. You see a change of behavior, it pulls back. When it pulls back, it sets up the springboard, which initiates the markup or the uptrend, right? So this piece is very important to look for. So this is what I'm trying to explain to you and teach you guys is to look for this in your change in your sign of strength. All right, now I'll show you examples today, intraday, even on an intraday basis. No cherry picking, 2 markets with this example, with signals showing you that this is it. This is today just as it was back then because it's a principle. You buy low and you sell high, and you buy low, you load the boat. So that's the same thing that happens today. Now the other thing is that, as you know, bar volume intraday is not a good thing because it's weird. On a 5-minute chart, bar volume is really bad. But what you can do is use the thrust of the bar, meaning the range of the bar. So over here, you can, it's a daily chart, so you use the volume off the bottom, but it's also a very big bar. The fact that it's big is the price factor, meaning it's expansion in price, not just volume. So you can use price because trading range intraday is pretty good. The TR, the trading range, the high minus the low, that the expansion in that range is something that can be used even if volume is not that great on an intraday basis, meaning individual bar volume it's not clear, but the range is. So I'll show you examples now. All right, so I'm going to show you here. The market basically was bouncing back up, like right here, right? So as it goes up, you get selling waves, right? Selling waves. So the volume, I don't know what the volume is, but I'm going to take a look at the price factor to see how big the red bars are from the top of the wave. This gives it away. This red bar is the biggest in 67 red bars. And it initiates the first selling wave. Typically that's enough to break it down, but ES just like test. So it retested again, and this time biggest in 72 and pushing back down. Then they tried again, biggest in 79. You see at the turns, the pivots, the The selling pressure is identified by the thrust. Just like volume off the bottom and volume off the top, here you have the thrust off the top right here. Biggest 67, biggest 72, biggest in 79. What happens? Uh-oh, down she goes. Now it goes back into an important position, and here you see what? You see the buying wave, and the buying wave has what off the bottom? Similar to volume off the bottom, you have thrust off the bottom. And you know to watch out, because this is the biggest thrust in 100 green bars. 100 green bars. Just like that thing that I just showed with the Wyckoff where you had volume off the bottom. This is like volume off the bottom, but expressed in terms of range instead of volume. So it's thrust off the bottom or range off the bottom. It probably has high volume too, and it should be a volume off the bottom, but intraday the volume is sketchy. So that right there is volume off the bottom, and this is your sign of strength, and blow. That's where we are now. So we're going to take one more example of this. So before I go any further, the point here is for the Wyckoff style traders and the students, Wyckoff students, to understand how this works. Basically, it's buy low, sell high, and at these lows and highs, you will have changes of behavior, also known as sign of strength and sign of weakness, and you will get not only the big waves that are your sign of strength and sign of weakness, but within the wave, you want to look within the wave. Within the wave, a change of behavior typically has one or two characteristics. And this helps solidify that it's a change of behavior. That it has either price volume off the top or bottom. Like here you have, the thrust off the bottom or volume off the bottom. Here you have it off the top. This one not really that clear. This one a little more clear. This one very clear. All right, this one very clear. Why? 100 bars, man. Boom. That's all buying. So the idea here now is what the question is, what makes this change of behavior a change of behavior? Is it just the fact that it's a big wave off the top or the bottom? That may be enough, but it's much better if you look inside the change of behavior or sign of strength / sign of weakness to see or qualify or quantify what's in the wave and how strong it is. What's in this wave is the biggest bar in 100 green bars, validating the change of behavior and the reversal from a downtrend to an uptrend. And the same thing happened here. When the selling, what validated this, these guys just kept dicking around here, but this was the key one that's very clear. The others you might be like, yeah, the numbers are high, but this one's really clear. Boom, right there. It's a selling wave, short, and you'll get a little move because, the ranges are small right now, but you're going to see how I do next year. Where, the ranges expand, then it's like game on. All right, where else was I? Crude. So today we'll just take a look at the same behavior in crude. All right, so this is crude, and what do you notice? Buying wave. What else do you notice? Bingo. Look at this bar. All right, now there are times when you get a big bar with a big volume or a big thrust, but don't buy it because you need follow through. It needs to be a wave. That thing has to have follow through, and it does. It has follow through, and that's when it becomes not only a big bar, but it's part of a big wave, which helps with the confirmation, right? All right, so I've gone over that. Basically what's within the sign of strength or the sign of weakness, and look what happened here after that. We're over here now. So this was the change of behavior or the sign of strength. Initiated the wave, biggest in 43 waves with the biggest bar in 100 waves. If that's not an indication of a sign of strength, I mean, I don't know what is. And then you pull back, entry, bang. All right, now, the other thing I wanted to point out is what are other things that are part of that change of behavior. Okay, so the first thing I've explained to you as the Wyckoff, students and folks that trade basically Wyckofians, is you need to take a look at what's in the wave, and you can do this to see if there's a volume off the bottom or big range off the bottom, basically thrust off the bottom. In this case, I'm looking at thrust, and it's there. All right. Now, the other thing to note is the position of where the change of behavior or sign of strength is coming from. It's coming from an oversold condition. This is very, very common. Markets love to get oversold, offering the best buying opportunity, and then they get in. Here's basically the model which Wyckoff gave. The market is oversold here, and here's your buying off the bottom, your volume off the bottom and thrust off the bottom, basically your price volume expansion. And then you have follow through 2 more green bars, totaling 3 green bars. So you have follow through, making this wave the biggest in who knows how many waves, right? So you have your sign of strength consisting of 3 green bars and big price and volume indicating volume off the bottom or buying off the bottom, and then initiates the trend. Similarly, you have your oversold condition, you have your price off the bottom, the volume off the bottom, or the price off the bottom here. I'm looking at range, and then that continues into becoming a wave. That is your sign of strength, and that will then initiate the uptrend. So same thing with the selling. Same thing with the selling. All right, that's see what this is. See over here? If you look closely over here, it's actually the biggest down bar in 64 bars. So anyway, I'm not going to get into all of that again, but here's the point. Analyze your sign of strength and sign of weaknesses. If you're a Wyckoff student and you're not using a wave chart, why not? If you're not using a wave chart, you're basically not implementing Wyckoff. It is part of Wyckoff. All right, and the other thing is, again, I say that what happens before the sign of strength or sign of weakness is very, very important. You'll typically have 2 things. One is either shortening of thrust, or 2, it gets into an overbought, oversold condition. And that's it. And then just combine that with levels, and that'll show that traders, smart money is buying those levels. All right, thanks. Have a good day. Bye.